This is one of the fastest electric cars that you can buy right now, and no, it isn't a Tesla. It is, of course, Kia's new performance electric car, the EV6 GT. With 585 horsepower, it is the most powerful Kia ever built, and it matches up to cars like the Audi RS E-Tron GT and the Tesla Model S in terms of performance. But how does it drive out on the racetrack here in Stockholm? In this video, we'll take a look inside and outside the EV6 GT and tell you what it's like to drive on the racetrack. But before we start, remember to check out Carzone for Kias for sale from trusted sellers. In terms of styling, the EV6 GT has a few subtle differences over the normal car, most notably these huge 21-inch alloy wheels wrapped in Michelin Pilot rubber. There's also larger brake discs for extra stopping power, and you need it when that 585 horsepower kicks in. Inside, the EV6 GT feels very similar to the normal EV6 that we've previously reviewed on the channel. However, there are a few subtle differences, including these bucket seats which hug you into position on the racetrack, and there is a sports steering wheel with stitching, and most importantly, a GT button on the steering wheel which unleashes that full 585 horsepower. It feels quite special inside when you drive it on the racetrack, and we are pretty impressed here on our first drive. So we're just getting ready to take the EV6 GT out on the track here in Sweden, and I'm behind a ex-rally driver who's in a white EV6 GT. I am in a matte grey, and he said he's going to push on and show me how it is done around this track. You can feel those 21-inch wheels wrapped in Michelin rubber gripping the road so well. It's really responsive and playful. Even though it weighs 2.2 ton, this car really can turn. It gives you confidence on this racetrack. I'm pushing it here. I can feel a little bit of movement underneath me, but all the while, it's very reassuring. Nothing too manic. Coming down into a tight section here. Back is ever so slightly stepping out, but all the while I'm getting a lot of feedback. One little criticism is probably the steering feel. It doesn't give you that much feel on the tighter turns, but that said, it is good enough for day-to-day driving, and that's what most people will be doing in this car. The opportunity to take it out on a track like this will be rare and far and few between, but when you do take it out on the track, this car is more than capable. It has the performance to match up to supercars and indeed other performance electric cars like the Tesla Model S, the Porsche Taycan Turbo, Audi RS E-Tron GT, the list goes on. From behind the driver's seat here, it is thrilling to drive, and I'm on a tight and twisty track, and the car just sticks. It grips like no other EV that I've driven. This thing is proper fast. It is supercar quick. It is as fast in a straight line as a Porsche Taycan Turbo, and it has a top speed that matches even the Audi RS E-Tron GT that we tested recently. Compared to the normal EV6, the GT has more power on its front and rear electric motors, a total output of 440 kilowatts. It has a top speed of 260 kilometers an hour, and when you sprint from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour, it takes just 3.5 seconds, which is eye-wateringly fast. We've had a chance to take it out on the drag strip also earlier, and I can tell you that it feels very, very fast from behind the driver's seat. A car that has this much power and that weighs 2.2 tons shouldn't be easy to drive, but it is very forgiving on these tight and twisty corners. There are different driving modes available with Sport, and when you press the GT button on the steering wheel, it unlocks that full 585 horsepower. It also loosens up the traction on the car, which can make it quite exciting in tight turns. It drifts out on you. Kia has given us a chance to really put the EV6 GT through its paces on the track here, and we also got to do a drag race earlier on with two EV6s against each other. We also got to do a drifting experience, which was great fun too. I have never seen an electric car properly drifting before, but this thing does it in abundance. So right now I'm driving down to the drag strip. Bob Flavin is in front of me in his car, and we're going to test out the EV6 GT off the line here. Just to get ready in advance, I'm going to use the GT button on the steering wheel to take it out of sport mode and to put it into GT mode, which fully unlocks that 585 horsepower and gives you an incredible acceleration off the line. 3, 2, 1, go. Ah, you got me. Not 100 kilometers an hour in 3.5 seconds. 150 kilometers an hour. Wow, that is incredibly fast. It gets up to speed like nothing else. So, should you buy the EV6 GT? Well, if you're looking for an electric performance car that matches up to the Teslas, Audis and Polestars of this world, this is the car to choose. It does have a high starting price tag of in or around €70,000, and that has to be confirmed, but in our opinion, it is worth it, and it is every bit as exciting from the driver's seat as you would expect. Remember, check out Carzone to find Kias for sale in Ireland from trusted sellers. Thanks for watching our video, and make sure to subscribe.